What's up? It's Winslow. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, this might be a little fun. So hit that subscribe button, all that YouTube crap, and let's jump into it. So I put out on Twitter yesterday, as of recording this video, send me drum and bass hot takes. Here we go, just rapid fire. You guys have some weird opinions. Some of you missed the assignment completely, and some of you are the homies. None of those are mutually exclusive. Let's go. Like this mic technique. Anyway, Schologrim says, dance floor drum and bass peaked in the 2012-2015 era and has fallen off hard save for a few names that have their own spins on the subgenre. As not a dance floor drum and bass connoisseur, I agree. How? I don't know. Dance floor is not a guilty pleasure. It's not my main thing, but I do enjoy it. I don't really play it. I just listen to it. I'm a listener. I'm a casual consumer of dance floor drum and bass. And my opinion, I like it.
I like it.
Justin Hawks, the homie, miss you, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. He says Americans will actually ruin drum and bass permanently. Definitely, for sure, for real this time. I agree, and I'm on that train. We're going to ruin it one really good tune at a time. If you haven't heard Justin Hawks' new album Existential out on Pilot Records, you need to listen to that now and see just how much he ruined drum and bass. Proud of you, man. All right, we got Saddle. Shout out Saddle. The Gloom LP coming out soon on North Quarter. It's pretty sick, if I do say so myself, because my opinion means everything. If you forgot. Drum and bass crowds are usually less open to hear other genres in a set compared to other way around. I kind of agree on that. I mean, say the traditional drum and bass crowd, which is, I would say UK, EU specific. UK, EU drum and bass is like all people want to hear. And sometimes it's like only specific sound. I mean, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, so I kind of agree. But I think it's, I agree like with the caveat of, you know, it depends where you are. If you had to generalize, yeah, like most drum and bass listeners, party goers, whatever, just kind of want to hear drum and bass. And maybe they're open to it, other things sometimes. It depends on who's presenting it. Like Alex Perez got a lot of flack for like doing the 140 thing in the beginning, but now everybody loves him for it. In America, it's always been like a grab bag of things, and most people are interested and listen to, let's say, drum and bass adjacent bass music, things like that. So it kind of, you know, depends. Oh man, Tap Newo, or Newo, sorry, Newo? Anyway, the genre peaked here. I'll take that over Mr. Happy, Original Nutter, any tune, any drum and bass classic. This is the one. Slater, shout out Slater. Hot Pants is better than the Amen. I agree. I will take anything over an Amen, just about. Hot Pants is better than, Hot Pants better than Think. I want to see that one in the comments. And then Paul SG replies, clever folks layer them both. All right. You're right, but for the sake of argument, we're just going to go with Hot Pants is better than the Amen. Shout out you guys. All right, at Harry Sword, that fast mixing often completely ruins the flow vibe. I don't ever want to hear 70 tunes an hour. It's ludicrous. It's getting to a point where only Doc Scott, Loxy, Caliber, D-Bridge, Pessimist, etc. actually roll out mixes, do the music justice. Old man rant over. I want to do the diplomatic thing and say to each their own. Personally, I love slower mixes, longer blends, letting the tracks breathe. But then I like little pockets of throwing everything at the wall, face melters, you know, double drops, triple drops, and it's fun. But personally, I prefer the longer stuff a little bit more. Big up. Oh, okay. This is a really good. This is Techno is Dead at Sketchy Yato or Jodo. American drum and bass culture has nearly nothing to do with Jamaica. We are historically closer to the Amen break and the original breakbeat samples than Jamaican British culture. It's the most cringe and fake aspect stateside drum and bass fandom. And Justin Knight goes on to reply, American here, big agree. I appreciate each and every person in our country that loves this music, but for Pete's sake, please stop speaking in fake accents like Selecta, Big Tings Aguan, Pond the Dance Floor. It embarrasses us all. Yes, it does. And I will go to the grave with that one. Oh my God, like, no. Just stop. Like, you miss the context of why that makes sense in the UK, because there's Jamaican culture within the UK from immigration and, you know, the Windrush era. I'm not completely clued up on this, but if you want to learn about that kind of era, listen to DJ Flight's podcast. Yeah, pretty sick. But you know, back to the point. No, like Midwest, I'm gonna say it, Midwest white guy with dreads, you do not have a Jamaican accent. It's just like it's tasteless, silly. silly, you know? I'm not even gonna do it. And I have a little bit of Jamaican like in my heritage, but like it's not me. You know what I mean? Like big things are not a guan when it's just not you. Anyway. But I'm all for like, you know, cross culturalizations and, you know, embracing things. But like this, no. I will go to the grave with, if you don't have the accent, it's not like your culture, your heritage, just leave that alone. Enjoy drum and bass for what it is. But yeah, stop with the fake accents. It's silly. The OK Corral. Mac Miller is rubbish. I don't know what that has to do with drum and bass, but you're wrong. Thanks. Raiden Rock Music says drum and bass is diet house music for wooks. You sound like an American who really doesn't understand drum and bass and comparing it to wooks, which has nothing to do. That's like a wholly American, like rhythm, dubstep, trap, festival, gremlin type thing.
This is a wook. This is a Wookie.
Nah. Next comment. Drew, with us some sage advice. Anything that becomes popular inevitably gets worse. Drum and bass is no exception. Agree. Next one. MST. The scene in America will boom in the next 5 years. 5 years from now is what? DMB 2027? US DMB 2027. Mark your calendars. Ben, analog. It should be bass and drum, not drum and bass. All right. Noya official.
Ain't you jungling guy?
Only liking 90s jungle doesn't make you better than anyone. True. Drum and bass dad. Whatever tunes you think are trash, someone will enjoy. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm trash to a lot of people, and a lot of people still like me. So, boom. You're right. Next comment. Tim Reaper. That is all. Don't know how that's a hot take or not. But is it a Tim Reaper stan? Yes. Tim Reaper. Filk. I wouldn't mind raves starting and ending sooner. Norm where I live seems to be start at 11 or midnight, go till 5 a.m. I like this because as a teacher, I go to bed at like 10 every day. And when it's time to stay up for a gig on the weekend, those of you who have seen me like fall asleep in the corner of the dance floor or just like be lolling around because I'm ready to go to bed before the party even starts. So promoters, let's have a couple more, day party, evening parties, something that doesn't go all night for the homie. All right, Andy. Shout out Andy. Here's one from US Crew. Drum and bass will never be popular in the States, and if it is, it will be fundamentally different than most anything from Europe. I agree with the back half. I don't know about the front half. Back half as in fundamentally different. Yeah, definitely, like it already is. And if it grows, it definitely will be because our influences over here aren't the same as like in the UK and in Europe, American music is like its whole thing, and that's like what we grew up listening to alongside drum and bass. So we bring those different ingredients, those different influences to the pot, which ultimately helps drum and bass as a whole grow. Hallow says, serious one, a lot of artists really need to work on making music that's interesting to listen to outside of a club. Agree. Mostly just because that's all I do. I'm just now writing music that I think is aimed to fit for a club. Mostly because here I am, Midwest Missouri, making tunes with really no clubs around. So make more musical tunes and make tunes for the club and try to make crossover that fit both and do your thing. But ultimately I would love to see really club focused, dance floor focused, not the genre, but just like the idea of writing for the dance floor, focused producers, like branching out into full on just listening, self-indulgent, your ideas and stuff, those kind of projects like War Down versus Technomatic and things like that. That is always sick. All right, Enter Terrain with the controversial one. Playing in lingerie is a surefire way to get likes. Maybe I should try this. Are you propositioning me? I'm all for it in a do what you want to do kind of way. People have their comments, but ultimately, who cares about the keyboard warrior? Not calling you one, by the way. Do what you want to do. If I'm going to dress in a bikini, you better believe you're going to like it. Not me in the bikini, but what happens around it. It's all about the set piece, the drama, the cinema. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Next comment. Jason, Method 1. People need to stop relying so much on sample packs. Agreed. But also, use what you want to use. Sample packs are a tool. Learn how to take the samples, make them your own, make it personal to you, but don't just drop a piano loop in and then, the splice effect. Next comment. Proper production. Okay, here we go. Proper production says AMC is better than Andy C. No comment. I've seen both. Wait, I've seen Andy C live. I've met AMC. By meeting, I mean I walked past him when I was getting my wristbands at Hospitality in the Woods last year, and he kind of noticed me. He was just like, hey, super nice guy. But yeah, I feel like it's to each their own. I love both, you know? But if we really had to say who's the best DJ out of the two, I would say me. All right, Dusky. Shout out Dusky. We hung out at Hospitality on the beach, met for the first time. Super cool guy. Big up Differential Records. Or is it Recordings? You guys know what I mean. There's good tunes with bad snares. All of mine. But yeah, a lot of good tunes, a lot of bad snares. Totally agree. Still a hot take. Justin Knight, using sync is not a big deal and beat matching is not the end all be all of DJing. Technology should be embraced, not shunned. Let me give you a quick story. Hospitality on the beach. A couple of us were DJing on a boat. This boat was rocking back and forth. Like, people got hurt and we were like holding on to dear life. Top deck of this boat. Sync was used, okay? Technology was embraced. On a regular set, you know, on land, sync still gets used. Who cares? I don't personally use it because if I did, I would literally have nothing to do behind the decks. DJing is very easy, and a lot of you are going to be mad at that, but like mixing one tune into another tune is so simple, okay? It really is. And I know it's like the story and the reading the crowd and blah blah blah. Yeah, sure, but the actual mechanics of mixing one tune into another or two tunes at the same time to double drop, because wow, is very, very easy. This could be a whole video, but I'm not going to do it. Shout out Justin Knight, you're exactly correct. Random movement, shout out Mike. You can make a respace out of literally any sound. Agree. Drum and bass is better than dubstep. Nah. It is what it is. I like both. There's no real better. Like, how do you quantify what's better? It's more of a preference. You like it, sick. You don't like it, sick. If it's not for you, it doesn't make it any worse or any better. It just is not for you. It is what it is, and I is drum and bass with a side of dubstep. We can have a little bit of dubstep, you know what I mean? And I'm not like specific, not like the deep stuff, not like the tear out, the bro step. I all of it. If I like it, I like it. Yeah. Causer. Shout out Causer. Really love what you're doing. Don't know if you're going to see this, but shout out. Hope you get back to making music. Nearly every drum and bass track sounds like another drum and bass track, and it's getting stale very quickly. 100% agree. That's why I made a couple videos back about the homogenization of the sound. Every producer sounding like another producer instead of sounding like themselves. We're taking the time to figure out what they sound like, you know? And it was a cool discussion around it. Divisive in a positive way is just everyone has their opinions, and it's like, no way is right or wrong, but personally I just want to see more outside influence within the thing I like, you know? That's all. Just a little bit of something else. Big up Causer. All right, DZ says MCs can make or break your set. Choose wisely. You're 100% right. Some MCs just don't mix with the DJs. Some MCs are like and I would take this as just inexperienced, maybe less experienced MCs, you know, with the you know, something to prove kind of thing, you know, try to overshadow the DJ when it should be like a good back and forth, a good working relationship, you know, DRS Caliber, DRS LSB, DRS anybody, because DRS is sick. Shayna was here. MCs are unnecessary for liquid drum and bass sets. Not really. It depends. Like, an MC elevates the set, you know, a good partnership elevates the whole thing. But like, if you have a mismatch, then yeah, MC's gonna run whatever they're over if they don't, you know, mesh well. But to say they're like totally unnecessary, nah. I like a good MC. I just like a good MC. That's all. Luke at Mizo blah blah. The golden age of drum and bass is past, and we gotta accept that. I combat that with the first golden age of drum and bass. This is a very young genre. Anything can happen. Let's watch. Ooh, here we go. The Chi Chi, DJ Chia. I don't know how to pronounce that. Drum and bass that is just a drum with bass is a snore to listen to. A monophonic bass line is not a replacement for music theory, regardless of how many detuned oscillators or effects you have layered on. A lot of word salad there. I kind of feel like what you're saying, this is kind of comes off as the usual music theory beats all argument, and as someone with like 2 degrees and teaches music and stuff like that, it means music theory means absolutely nothing. It's a language to talk to other musicians and kind of understand what you're saying. Like, if I'm going to play a gig with my instrument, not like DJing, and someone like yells out a tune and it's like in this key, I know what they mean when they say that key. That's all it really comes in handy for, and uni assignments. But as someone who like studied music theory for my entire life, basically, I use absolutely none of it most days past like basic music theory in any tune I make. So yeah. You just, I don't know. It's the silly music. I am enlightened because I know music theory. So music that seems not to apply it the way I consider they should seems less silly. But I asked for hot takes, so thank you for submitting. Just know that there's a world of music out there, and people who make it who don't know a lick of music theory and are blowing minds on a daily basis. So yeah. All right, music fan who can't tweet. It's better now than it has ever been. You've never lied. Drum and bass is better now than it's ever been. Only because now is now, and in the past, no one can really corroborate that. If you were there, you probably thought it was the best, and that's sick. But right now, the world we're living in, what we're experiencing day to day, minute by minute, is sick. All right? If you live in the moment, drum and bass is always better in the moment than a moment that passed. Because right now, it's real. And in the past, I don't know. Anyway, that's most of them. If you haven't checked out the thread, I'll link it in the description. Check it out. Leave yours in the comments. I would love to see some more drum and bass hot takes. We can all make fun of ourselves every now and then. I mean, that's what I do. Look at this goofy sweater. But it's a gangster sweater. Winslow out.